So, the Democrats' response to Trump's speech or their behavior during it, I thought it was very poor for reasons I'll get to, but let's start with sort of defending them a little. The idea that they didn't applaud or that they spoke out, look, that stuff happens when it's the other side as well. I think that it's just silly that this is always the way it occurs, that one side sits there not applauding a quiet and the other side applauds everything. It's silly, but that is par for the course. As far as Al Green, it's sort of standing up and making a scene and getting kicked out. Yeah, it's true. Republicans that I don't particularly like their behavior, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene, have done similar things in the past. The difference this time being the litany of warnings that were given to Al Green, and those warnings started after there was a ruckus with almost the entire Democrat side of the aisle. So they had no choice for the purposes of getting through the speech of telling them, look, we're going to use the sergeant at arms if you don't settle down. And then Al Green standing up and acting a fool over and over when he was asked to sit down was politely removed by the sergeant at arms. It's a really bad look for the Democrats. The little placards that the Democrats had, really dumb, bad look, opens themselves up to a lot of meme magic, which you're seeing today. And I think the worst thing, though, wasn't just that they weren't applauding for a cancer victim kid, the fact that an American was brought back from Russia. The worst part is what they did applaud at. So I'm willing, as I've already done so in this video, to say, that's just normally how things go. You never applaud anything that the other side did. But here's what's different this time. They did choose to applaud, but only one time. And that one time they applauded was when Trump was talking about the horrors of the Ukrainian-Russian war and about how people are dying and it needs to end. And he said, what, did Democrats want to fund this for another 5 years? And that they applauded. Now, one, it's grotesque that you would applaud this meat grinder and standing on the bodies of dead Ukrainians saying, we'll do just enough to keep them in the fight so they can continue dying when ultimately they're just stuck in this stalemate. That's grotesque in its own right. But then once you're going to applaud certain things, you really don't have an excuse for not applauding the young gentleman who has cancer that wants to be a member of the Secret Service. If you're going to applaud anything, then you have to applaud everything that's non-controversial, like cancer victims, freed hostages, veterans being celebrated, etc. The fact that Democrats didn't do that, but did applaud continuing to send money for the next 5 years to Ukraine to keep that meat grinder going, is a terrible look. And the American people have routinely been saying that even if they have some problems with Trump, though it's looking pretty good for him right now, they have far less faith in the Democratic Party. Their response is meandering, it's childish, it makes no sense, they're directionless, they're rudderless, and they have no argument going forward than the same old playbook that Trump's a Russian stooge or a racist. Democrats' response, I give a D-.